Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Janelle and I upload new videos every Wednesday. Today I'm going to be doing an all-day wear test of the Hard Candy Glamaflouge foundation. And the reason why I'm here with my full face on, normally I start like bare face when I do an all-day wear test, but I realized I forgot to film an intro. So, hey! Now we're gonna jump right into me with no makeup on, walking through me applying this. I'm gonna wear it pretty much all day, but yeah, that was a mistake on my behalf. Like I realized I completely just got into trying it on and I didn't even introduce who I was or like welcome you guys back to my channel. So that's what I'm here right now doing. So let's get in. Bareface Janelle is coming right to a screen near you. So let's get started. My skin is already prepped. Today I use coconut oil to hydrate my skin instead of a typical moisturizer, just because since it's been so much hotter out, my skin has been a little bit more on the oily side. So I just find that whenever I use coconut oil, I know my makeup will hold up its best. I feel like I'd be setting myself up for failure if I used a super hydrating moisturizer, because then my makeup just looks like a grease ball for the day. So let's jump right into the good stuff. Today we're going to be reviewing the Hard Candy Glamaflouge foundation. Now I'm so excited because I remember trying the Hard Candy Glamaflouge concealer. That was like the first ever concealer I ever purchased. So I'm really excited to see how this foundation holds up. The Hard Candy Glamaflouge concealer is super full coverage. Like it is meant to cover up tattoos, super thick, very matte. So I'm excited to see how the foundation is. And this foundation is a whopping $6, which is even more amazing. Okay, so on the Hard Candy website, it says the Glamaflouge Full Coverage Foundation is oil-free, long-wearing, super smooth liquid makeup that lasts up to 16 hours. Glides on effortlessly, leaving skin looking naturally flawless without caking, creasing, or fading. This lightweight formula offers full coverage yet feels weightless and comfortable with added vitamin E. So that sounds really good. That sounds like everything I want in a foundation. So I'm so excited to put this foundation to the test. And what I found really cool about this foundation is it comes with the doe foot applicator. So it kind of reminds me of the Clinique Beyond Perfecting foundation. This is definitely going to be darker than my face, but I'm praying it matches with my body. I only got one color, so it definitely looks a little bit dark, but we'll make it work. Yeah, it's definitely way darker than my face, but I think it'll be a good blend for my neck. Probably shouldn't go crazy with the like applying this just yet, but we're just going in. Do you guys see the difference in like how pink my face looks, but how like bronze my body is? This is insane. It's because lately I've been using a really high SPF. Ooh. So it's definitely like a very thick consistency, but it blends out really nice. It literally blends out to me just like the Clinique Beyond Perfecting foundation, where it's a nice satin finish. It like smooths everything out. And I'm really glad I got it in this color. I know it's definitely way too dark for my face, but like I said, it blends in with my body. And the concealer that I use is like a little bit too light for me right now, so it kind of helps blend everything out. I'm already loving this, and it's only like 30 seconds into applying it. This is insane. The only thing I will say when I was looking and trying to find my color at Walmart is that the color selection isn't very great. They have a very limited color selection, which bothers the crap out of me. I noticed that the colors that they did have, the darkest it went to was like a medium deep. I'm like, I'd rather have like a little bit in each shade range than have like a bunch in kind of one shade category, if that makes sense. So this side that I didn't blend out right away, it's kind of blotchy. So I will say it dries pretty quick, so you want to work fast when blending it out. See, like I have this little patch here that kind of dried up and now it's getting a little bit blotchy. Yeah, it's not blending there at all. Like I keep going over that spot. So that normally tells me to work with one side at a time. Now the thing that scares me about foundations that do stuff like this is that I feel like if I go in with more product, you might start seeing the spots. Like when it's too matte or when it dries too fast, when you try to build on top, sometimes it'll like get darker in certain areas and go on patchy. So let's pray that this doesn't do that, because so far I was actually really liking it. Oh my gosh, and once it's on, it is like on. Alright, y'all pray. Pray that this doesn't do that to me. Now this side, now that it's drying, is starting to feel a little bit tight, which I don't mind because I go in with setting sprays and all that. And it kind of helps me know that my foundation is locked in place. But if your skin is on the drier side, then that might be a problem. So I'm kind of torn right now because I feel like it applied really nice at first, but then once it dries, it's like any areas that weren't completely blended out, it's not like you can just go back in with your beauty sponge and try to touch it up. Like, it's already locked in place. And you can kind of see here the areas that I went back over don't look as smooth, whereas this side I didn't really go back over and it looks a lot smoother. So like I said, that's kind of a mistake on my behalf, because I feel like if I would have worked one side at a time, that wouldn't be a problem. But at the same time, you don't want to feel super rushed, I feel like, when you're applying your foundation. So just something to keep in mind. I forgot to mention, but I got mine in the color Warm Honey. Alright, so we have it completely on. Before I go ahead and finish the rest of my makeup, I just wanted to tell you guys my thoughts on it right now. It's only been on for like 5 minutes. So, first thing is, work with it in small sections. Don't apply it all over your face and then blend it out, because then you're gonna come into the same issue that I had, where it's gonna get blotchy and then you're gonna add more and you're gonna see a little bit of that patchy. Now, one thing I noticed right now is that it literally sets itself. Like, normally when I apply foundation, if I were to touch my face, you would see it kind of transfer, or you would just feel it a little bit tacky. This is like completely dry on my skin, but what I like about it is that you can still see a little bit of a sheen. Like, it doesn't look super powdery and matte and cakey, but it's locked in place, set in place. It's like a demi matte, but it still looks very like natural skin finish-esque, if that makes sense. And 3, it does feel lightweight. Like, besides the tightness that I'm feeling in certain areas, I kind of wish I would have gone in with my more hydrating moisturizer, just because I feel like with this foundation it could have handled it. I have mixed feelings right now. I'm going to go ahead and finish the rest of my makeup, and then I'll let you guys know what I think and how everything kind of blended on top of it. Alright, so this is how it looks with everything on. I tried to keep my makeup relatively simple so that the focus would be mainly on the eyes, and I have mixed feelings about this. So for one, I literally had a setting spray like 3 times. I used my MAC Fix Plus just because my skin was feeling so tight. So the setting spray kind of helped melt it in a little bit better. And then 2, I used my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer to highlight, and it went on fine, I feel like, under my eyes, but on my chin and forehead, it was really hard to blend out. Like, you could kind of see it just like stick there and settle. And I feel like because the foundation is such a matte finish, you kind of need something a little bit more emollient. Like, if I were to use this foundation again, I'd probably try it with my Born This Way concealer, just because that one isn't as matte as the Tarte Shape Tape, because the two together, it's just like super matte. My cheeks and all that, they look pretty smooth, which I like. My skin, like I said, I feel like I could touch it and nothing's coming off. Everything definitely feels locked in place, which I like. I do kind of like how my skin looks besides the areas of where my concealer was. So I'm kind of excited to see how this wears throughout the day, because I definitely feel like as my oils and everything breaks through, that I will probably love this foundation. With these summer months, if I know I'm going to be somewhere that's outdoors, or I'm going to have my makeup on for a long period of time, I feel like this could potentially be the foundation I grab for, just because I know that it's like locked in place. But we'll see how it holds up throughout the day. Who knows? It could like completely separate and move. It is currently 1:39 p.m. I'll check back in about an hour just to let you guys know how it sits, and then I'll check in with you guys every couple of hours to let you guys know how it holds up throughout the day. So I'll see you guys soon. Alright guys, so it hasn't even been an hour. It's already been 10 minutes since you've last seen me. But I wanted to show you guys my skin in lighting outside of the studio lights, because I feel like the studio lights always enhance everything, makes everything look so much crazier, but no one really sees you like that in regular light. I was literally looking at my skin and it legit looks like porcelain. Like, it looks so smooth. like I'm kind of blown away right now. Like I was kind of feeling a little bit iffy with this foundation, but once I saw it in normal light, like everything just looks so seamless. We'll definitely see how it holds up throughout the day, if it stays looking super smooth. So I'll check in with you guys, like I said, in an hour, and see you guys later. Alright guys, so it is currently 2:39, so I wanted to go ahead and do my 1 hour check-in. And honestly, now that my skin has kind of like, how do you say, emulsified the foundation, the oils kind of broke through a little bit. I am liking it a lot more. Definitely not greasy, but it just definitely looks way more like in one with my skin, and my skin no longer feels super tight now that it's kind of settled in for a little bit. So right now I'm actually really liking it. Like I feel like my skin just looks so smooth and even and just like full coverage, but it definitely doesn't feel heavy. It doesn't feel cakey. I don't feel like I have a ton of makeup on. So right now I'm like really happy with it, which I am honestly so surprised because like I said, when I first applied it, I was like, really not feeling it too much. But now I'm thinking it looks great, and in natural sunlight, like I just think it looks so pretty. So I'll check back in with you guys in like a couple more hours. I'll probably wait for maybe another like 4 hours, or even 5 hours. I can let you guys know how it sits on the skin maybe after 6 hours. And yeah, thank you guys for staying too. Hey guys, so I'm just sitting on my couch. I changed into a cozy sweater just because I was running errands and stuff all day, and then I got home, I was really cold. I was like, I just want to be comfy. My makeup has been on for 5 hours. It's currently 6:45 and it's still locked in place. Now, the one thing I noticed is that my forehead is a little shiny. To do with a little bit of glow. You see that glossiness? Like same time too, it doesn't feel greasy. When I touch my skin, like it's not like it's coming off or transferring. The makeup's still locked in there. It's just a little bit of a glow, which honestly I needed. It's crazy too because I really didn't have much planned today. I just had to like run a couple errands at like Target, and I really just wasn't in the mood to have a full face of makeup. I kind of just wanted to be lazy today. Here I am, and I don't feel uncomfortable. It doesn't feel unbearable. I like laid down to take a nap earlier. I wasn't able to fall asleep, but I laid down. I was comfortable. Like I honestly forgot I had makeup on. I've been like touching my face and stuff a lot throughout the day, and it's still there. Like nothing is patching off or anything like that. So that's really cool. I'll check in with you guys in about another hour maybe to kind of do the final check-in to let you guys know how it wears. But for 5 hours, like that's not bad. Like it's definitely still locked and loaded. All right, guys, so we made it to the beauty studio for the final check-in. It is currently 8:30, so I've had this foundation on for about 7 hours, or a little bit under 7 hours, and this is how it is looking. So, my thoughts on this foundation. First of all, I think overall it has held up and worn really nice. The only place where I'm super shiny is right above my brows, and right here in the center, which for me is inevitable. My skin gets super shiny above my eyebrows for some reason. But with that oil, there's still no separation. Like it's still completely held up there. Only place where I've noticed separation is around my nose. It's kind of lifted from there. Again, I feel like that's kind of like a given. On my cheeks, I think it has held up so nice. Like I touched my face, zero transfer. I even did like the phone test where I like put my head on my phone. And normally if I do that at this time of day, like there's a bunch of foundation left over on my phone. There was none there. Another thing that I noticed with this foundation though is that it does tend to cling to like pores and stuff. I happen to have really large pores. I do have blackheads here and on my nose. I know it's gross. And it does kind of start pulling to those areas as your oils break through, but nothing unbearable. It's nothing that like, to me, a typical foundation doesn't do. It wasn't like over exaggerated, so, but it does do it. So just a forewarning. All in all, I think this foundation is definitely worth trying if your skin's more normal to oily. For $6, it has held up really nice. I really did like how my skin looked super smooth all day and how I didn't feel like I had makeup on. Normally by this time of day when my oils and stuff break through, I just want to take a wipe and wipe everything off because I can just feel like all of the foundation just sitting on my skin. With this foundation, that is not the case at all. So I think it is the perfect summer foundation. If you are more normal to oily, you're in humid weather, this will definitely hold up. However, if your skin's more on the drier side, definitely steer clear or only use this foundation with a super hydrating moisturizer. The reason why I say that is because right here, my skin is more normal and it still feels kind of tight, not unbearably tight, but a little bit more tight. So I can only imagine if your skin is super dry, this foundation is gonna feel way too tight for your skin. So just a forewarning, but for $6, I mean, you could always give it a try and use a super rich, the most richest moisturizer ever, and give it a try. So all in all, I'm gonna rate this foundation an 8.5 for my skin type, and honestly I do strongly believe that rating will go up as I get to play with some different moisturizers and primers to use with it. Another thing I forgot to mention, if your skin's normal, definitely give this foundation a try, but you must use a hydrating setting spray. I feel like without my MAC Fix Plus setting spray, it just would have been too matte if your skin's more like combo oily. Yeah. Anyways, as I was saying, as I try different moisturizers and primers, I think I might actually end up really loving this foundation and using it a lot this summer. But yeah, if you guys did happen to enjoy this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Definitely don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you can see new videos that I post every Wednesday, and a notification bell so you're notified. I seriously love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!